Hi guys, and welcome back to Pass and Move. And for today's episode, we've got, as promised, the England versus Russia game. And it's a little bit of a strange competition, I suppose. The European International League, I've never actually heard of this before, but still, of course, two huge games: England versus Russia, and of course, we played Germany as well, as promised. And for those of you who've missed out on the last episode, definitely check out. It was the World Cup, a very intense game against Italy, but unfortunately, we did miss out. Just 1-0 loss. Immobile there really pretty much putting us to the sword, and unfortunately my players couldn't recover. But anyways, in terms of who we did select for this game and who we didn't select, this is the team we're going with, but we'll go through them quickly through the national pool as well, who we called up, who deserves rather the England, being called up to the England national team, English caps basically. Anyways, we did go for Forster, Hart and Heaton in goal, kind of straightforward. Pickford, Butland really not in incredible form. Still early on though, it's only September, but for now Heaton is the deserved one. Also, we do have to of course keep in mind that these players won't really play, the backup goalkeepers don't really get a chance. But anyways, in terms of left backs, it's becoming more and more clear who should be the not first choice, but who should be consistently picked. Of course, Shaw's always there, he is a key player for us at left back, and Rose is the one who gets the call up now. Baines sort of fallen off in terms of ability, Cresswell as well. I think he's still stuck with West Ham, who are now in the Championship, so something to consider as well. In terms of the right back though, it's always been Klein all day, every day really. And in terms of the choices of the backups, it's between Walker and Ward. And Ward gets the call up this time just for being in better form in the early stages of the campaign. Centre backs, Stones finally gets the call up. Shawcross, Cook, and Simon Francis, who we now realise his ability has actually dropped a little too further down for us, but of course next time we won't call him up because of his ability having dropped so much. We've got available options elsewhere, the likes of Keane, Jones and Smalling still struggling for game time, even though it is early in the season to be fair, but still just not good enough for the team, and not in terms of ability. Without doubt they should be playing, and I'm really upset that I can't select them consistently, but what can I do? Either way, the midfield makeup is of Dele Alli, Dyer, Wilshere, likes of Lallana still being called up. Wilshere finally getting called up after a while. Once he was in Bournemouth, we were selecting him all the time. Then he went back to Arsenal, didn't really get game time. But finally, I think this season, at least in the beginning stage, a lot of it, he is getting some game time, so he's picked him. We've also got Ward, Prowse, and Drinkwater, as well as Barkley and Shelvey in reserve. Lallana's abilities dropped a little bit, but he's still, the preferred midfield of Ali, Dyer, Henderson, and Lallana. Fortunately, Henderson, of course, as you can see right here, is injured, and I think for not too long, but just not enough to get a call up, basically. In terms of strikers, though, Kane, Vardy, kind of straightforward. Berahino and Sturridge are the backup players sort of thing. Dini, his abilities dropped a little bit, even though it doesn't show right now. Berahino and Sturridge, they'll get in the game time necessary to be finally get called up. Berahino gets called up fairly frequently. Sturridge, though, is a bit of a surprise to have finally get him called up, basically. It's kind of exciting to finally get to pick him for the team. He's got the ability, it just wasn't in form. Not getting enough game time for Liverpool, but I think now it's a decent amount of game considering opening of the season anyways. Rashford, I'd love to have picked him, but unfortunately rather, he's not really playing for United in this game. In real life, of course, he plays quite frequently. He's one of the first choice players for Mourinho and his teams, but really not in the game, not so much at all. Makes substitute appearances and normally in cup competitions, and not really too many starts either. So I think we should be considered favourites, and I would agree with the odds expert that it will be a tough game, and we'll just about edge it. That's what I expect to see. But reality is kind of different, isn't it? Football's a funny game. At the same time, we do have to consider whether we can repeat the result against Germany. We did beat them 6-2 during the World Cup. Or was it 6-1? I can't remember. Either way, we completely annihilated them, and hopefully we'll be getting a repeat of that result. So let's get on with today's game, and the first being Russia at Wembley, England's home stadium. So before this game, my assistant, not really my assistant manager, but my actual assistant, informed me that the pitch has been relayed, so it's in great condition. They've fixed up a number of times really, and hopefully that aids in our game. We try and keep possession, so a good pitch helps to keep possession. If you've got, a patchy pitch or horrible pitch, kind of forces you into playing a bit more of a direct style. If you do stick to your guns of playing a possession-based thing, which is what I do, Vardy there really should have scored the first clear-cut chance of the game. But anyways, if you do stick to possession-based, which is kind of a mistake that I do when I'm playing in tough pitches, then it makes it tough to keep your possession. If you're wondering sometimes why, you're not only do you dominate your opponent in terms of the formation, like you're playing a 4-1-2-1-2 like we are now, and they're just playing a standard 4-4-2, you dominate midfield, so you expect to dominate possession, and then you're playing with a possession style as well, but for some reason you're still not dominating possession. Like, you've got the tactics set up perfectly, and you still don't understand why you're not maintaining possession. Sometimes it really does just come down to something as simple as the pitch being in poor condition. Russia on the attack though, meanwhile really, and they also miss a first clear-cut chance of the game. We really need to step up in the second half. I would say we should push on into control now. We've been on counter for a little bit too long. Russia have kept things going with us really, but now towards half time I think it's safe to go into control and just try and get a result. Unfortunately it hasn't happened before half time, but we can make up for it. I think I should tell my players off, and we should see an improvement in performances. The likes of Vardy not having a good game at all. I think it's okay if we bring on Sturridge, and Rose having a bad game as well. That's only 3 subs, but unfortunately if you're having a bad game at halftime, it's unlikely that you'll really recover. I've rarely seen that happen, and both Rose and Vardy are, just equally as good as these players who aren't having good games, so why not take them off? If for example Vardy was a lot better than Berry, it makes sense to keep him on just a little bit longer, but they are the same ability, so hopefully a halftime telling off. There you go, I was going to say halftime telling off and the substitutions will help, but immediately we see Sturridge come off the bench and he's had an immediate impact, and we might just about get the 3 points that we need against Russia. We need to try and beat them as much as possible, because when we face Germany it's a bit of a tougher game. If we do get these solid points now, then we're safe for later. Kane's got the ball now, Lallana, Dele Alli, can you find Sturridge? Yes you can, of course, and Sturridge makes it 2, and finally we're reaping the benefits of calling up Daniel Sturridge of Liverpool, and it'd be a real shame if he doesn't really play for Liverpool for the rest of the season, because then we can't call him up again, even though he's proven himself today. But sorry mate, as long as you're not getting the game time, then I can't really pick you. I don't know why I'm going on the subs. We have picked everyone, so I think we're just gonna let the game do its thing really. So as you can see, since half time, it's not too clear, here we've pretty much just since switching to control, we've really just gone a level further than Russia, and that's what I like to do. I like to keep, stay in a low gear, see if you can beat a team that way. They're forced into going into attack if you are beating them on a counter mode, and that way you hit them for another sucker punch basically. But if you can't, then you up the gears and we go into control and we get the result needed. And there you go, Sturridge has got his hat-trick, and what a performance from the Englishman. Luke Shaw getting complacent, can't really afford it, but with 3 goals up, I think we can let him go with that. Wilshere picking up a little bit of a knock, that's not too pleasing. Luke Shaw the same. We're facing Germany in a couple of days time, boys. Trying to avoid as many injuries as possible. As you can see here, Russia going into defensive 4-4-1-1-2 with the defensive midfield. Also two defensive mids, I think, that's what it's saying. A bit worrying though that Wilshere's on a yellow and injured. It's likely that he'll just cause another injury. Ooh, what a header that was from Shawcross. That's the kind of, the header that you want to see from your defenders, especially from set piece. But now we've just really pulled away, scored 4 goals in one half, and just utterly dominated Russia, despite initially thinking it would be a close game. Sturridge getting a 4th, a super hat-trick, if you want to call it that, and offside stops him from doing that. But 3 goals for the first time calling him back in a while. I'd say that's a pretty good performance, and no one can judge me for taking off Vardy, can they? Even Luke Shaw putting in the 7.6 rating performance. Ward came off the bench forced, my hand was forced because Klein was injured, but still, even he's had an 8.1. And the substitutes and the halftime team talk have saved our game. And there you go. Now we face Germany in 3 days' time. Hopefully some of the players will be a bit rested up. 3 days isn't a great amount of time for that, but you just have to deal with the reality of that. But anyways, as always, we will be simming forward, and you can pretty much just wait for a moment's time. We won't be doing it as we record, just because my laptop's slow. Basically, that's pretty much what it is. So we'll be back in just a moment, and hold on to your chairs. Alright, welcome back, guys. So we are back for the Germany game as promised. We are playing away from home as well, so that's going to be really tough, but still doable. We've beaten them before, so why can't we do it again? And as you can tell, some missing players on the team. I don't know if you noticed, just before we went away for a moment's time, Klein and Wilshere's injuries were pretty serious, so they did actually have to go away, and we've called up Walker and Cork in his place. Cork hasn't been in incredible form, but at least he has gotten game time. He's played all 3 Premier League games that have been played so far in up until September, and probably not really going to get a cap, but just for that sake. Anyways, so we'll put Ward on. We have to see which players are tired or not. So Shawcross is obviously exhausted. Rose can stay on. Dyer will take him off for... Tell you what, take him off for Cork. I know I said he wasn't going to play. I had a feeling that was gonna backfire. But I just think for now it kind of makes sense to play Cork there than anyone else, because Drinkwater, Shelvey, Ward-Prowse, not necessarily the players that play in defensive mid. Barkley as well. I actually kind of made a mistake in the sense that I called a lot of centre midfielders and attacking midfielders, and didn't really consider defensive midfielders too much. I just always assumed Dyer's there, so who cares? But I should care, basically. But anyways, can bring on Drinkwater for the roaming playmaker spot. Dele Alli, are you tired, mate? No, he's match fit, he's alright. Lallana will take him off for Ward-Prowse. Let's see if he can do anything. First international cap against Germany, that's not tough at all. Maybe I should consider someone else, shall we? Let's leave on Ward-Prowse to see what he's made of. No, you know what? No, he's not fit. Let's not mess about. Kane, Vardy still good, and Sturridge probably deserves to be on there, but I think for now there's no real need to rotate. So let's see, if Vardy has a horrible performance again, you can just always bring on Sturridge on again. But anyways, let's kick off against a world-class team, world champions of course. No longer world champions though. I think I already mentioned it. I'm not even sure if I'm right now, but I'm pretty sure Portugal won the World Cup as well. So that's Euros and World Cup back to back. I think it's safe to say no one saw that coming from 100 million miles away, that Portugal will be winning the Euros in the first place, but also winning the World Cup. So it'll be interesting to see whether they win the next Euros as well, back to back. That'll be very interesting. Germany favourites for today's game, and that's expected, but the odds expert thinks it's going to be a lot closer than that, and he thinks can't separate these two sides. I think it's kind of fair to say so. Germany should be better in quality, but the way we destroyed them last time suggests that they do have weaknesses which we can exploit. So hopefully we can do that again today, and take things in our stride. Really, can we do it twice? This is the real question. If we don't, not the end of the world. I just don't want to get relegated from this European league, I suppose. That's what makes this competition so interesting, is that it's like as if it's a club league. You actually do get relegated, and you do get promoted and whatnot. We are in the top league though, so it's not promotion. You just go into this quarterfinals, semi-finals. It's a bit of a weird mix of league and tournament, I suppose. I don't even know what I'm saying, because tournaments sometimes do start off in that league form, just like World Cups and everything really. I don't know what's wrong with me. Ignore what I just said. But yeah, it's just interesting because you can actually get relegated, as you can't really get relegated out of the World Cup, can you? You just get knocked out or you don't qualify. But there is an actual European League B league, basically, and we want to avoid that as much as possible. We want to stay with the top teams in Europe, and so far we seem to be doing okay with Germany. We're not really dominating anything. any stats in particular? Seems like now we are, but Germany are in the attack though, and that's always dangerous. And there you go, forced to dealing with that somewhat unless I hit the crossbar. But point is, we get away with it, and hopefully we can actually put some pressure on them now. The stats prove that it's kind of equal, but the highlights are just showing something else. Can we have a significant highlight, boys? Shelby, Ali loses out. Germany long range shot. Nope, Cork deals with it well, and he proves that it's not too much of a miss of Dyer. Vardy can't do anything with it, just don't lose it at least. He's been in some horrible international form. I actually regret picking him now. But Dele Alli, Kane, can you find someone? Drinkwater, playing through. Kane, oh, come on. First cut chance goes our way. But unfortunately, we can't capitalise on it. And that sucks because we're on the counter. We're not going to create a huge amount against a top team like Germany. So we need to make sure every little chance we do take, we do. Which is basically what happened in the 6-2 result. I need to double check on that result because I feel like it's not really 6-2. But either way, that's what happened. We took every possible chance under the sun, and now they're going to punish us. And there you go, that's all it takes. That's the difference between a top team and a middle team, I suppose. But either way, Germany will go into the break 1-0 ahead, and that's kind of disappointing considering how we played so far. Do we push up now? Do we take the risk of pushing on and being more exposed? Or do we stay on? Shelby proving me wrong for putting him in the game, and instead we will bring on Ward-Prowse. Dele Alli exhausted, but don't want to take him off just yet. And I think I'll go ahead with what my assistant says and say that we can still win this game. We've been playing well. No need to tell him off for no reason, even though we're obviously losing. Just encourage him to hopefully put in the better second half, and hopefully that happens basically. Anyways, kickoff for us in the second half. Rose, Dele Alli, and that is the end of the highlights. So why am I still talking? Alright, if it gets to about the 60th minute, we will have to push up into control. We won't really have an option anymore. But hopefully we score in this highlight. Kane, can he find Vardy through all the way? Can he score though? Yes, he can. No doubt, and that's why you trust your players. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. You just have to be careful. There you go, Vardy and Kane linking up, and that's exactly what I want to see. I think that should pretty much put that bad form behind him. Hopefully that will encourage him to score a second. Danny Rose getting into the book, which is not nice to see against the likes of Germany. Right, Dele Alli definitely needs to be subbed off once we hit that 60-minute mark. We'll see who else we can take off to try and swing this result our way. Let's bring on Barkley. And I think we'll just keep him down centre-mid support. Kane's tired, but I really don't want to take him off. I'm more tempted to take off Drinkwater, so I'll tell you what. Let's give him another 10 minutes and see whether maybe if he scores a second, then we can give him some rest. He's had a good game, and we're not winning necessarily, so I don't really want to take him off. You know, there's a lot of factors to consider. Drinkwater's had a bit of a quiet game, but he's fit at least. And we only have one more sub to make, so we have to be very careful. Kane's hit the 60 mark though, so I think we do need to take him off at this point. And Sturridge did well for us last time. Let's do that instead. Let's move Barkley across to Drinkwater. Maybe Drinkwater will do better in that centre midfield support role. And maybe Barkley can do something off the bench here as well, you know. Came off the bench 10 minutes earlier than anyone, but who knows. Alright, so we're going into 70th minute mark, so I think it really is time to go into control and maybe try and nick a result. I'm probably going to regret this, but let's try it anyways. Let's give it about to 85th minute and then really just go into all-out overload mode and see if we can somehow manage a result against Germany. Right, there you go. We haven't done too bad though in today's game. I think we've matched them. I think a draw's fair, but we really shouldn't have conceded the goal we did, and now it looks like we might actually concede another in the 85th minute. There you go. Just punished. Absolutely punished for no reason. And for some reason Forster's been blamed by the commentators, but I don't know, that's just poor defending. But there's still another highlight here, so can we punish them back? That's the question. We are on overload, we're severely exposed, and it looks like we might actually get exposed once more. And thankfully that was the worst shot I've ever seen. It looks like since we went into overload, we've just completely fallen apart in terms of stats. So guess that's my mistake. But can you blame me for going for it is the question. I never settle for a draw, to be honest. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't, but it definitely pays off more than it doesn't. Either way, 3 points against Russia and a loss against Germany leaves us in the middle of the table, so that's not too bad. But we are going to try and push into that qualification spot. And you know, hopefully if we do that, then we can qualify for the semi-final, or is it quarterfinal? I think it goes straight into semi-finals because of the lack of teams. But yeah, we do play Germany and Russia again, so we can make amends if we do beat Russia again, as well as Germany. Maybe, you know, maybe Russia will beat Germany, you never know, then we could still squeeze into that first top spot. So we will be back for the second set of fixtures for those in the next episode, of course, not in this episode. We do have a friendly against the USA, of course, and Russia will be played a couple of days after that. Germany, though, will be in the the episode after. Basically, we'll show you the game, just the game against Russia. I think I don't necessarily think you guys want to see any type of friendlies like that unless it's a very interesting friendly. I don't think playing the States really is an interesting friendly, unfortunately. So maybe the Chile one will be a bit interesting. We can show you Germany and Chile in the episode after. But for the next episode, just keep an eye out on the away game against Russia, and that way it'll be very interesting. No fixtures planned for 2019. I think I'm kind of sure that the Euros, basically qualifying for the Euros, should start next year. So we really do want to get this European League out of the way as soon as possible. I think that's why it's ending just before the end of this year. But yeah, I think that'll be all for today's episode. So if you did enjoy it, then of course please do hit the like button and subscribe for more Daily Football Manager 2017. And as always, thank you guys for watching.